If I am to make a short flashback, I'm going to give you the same answer I gave my wife when she asked, what are you going to tell them? I come from marketing communication, that's my background. But then I entered the technology field, and now I'm trying to help people to make the most out of technology through my business. That's what I do. Now, let me explain why I'm here today. When I talked with Mr. Balakakis and I shared a beautiful idea I had, I said that, okay, we have Metaverse, that's a new concept, everyone's been struggling to understand what this is all about and how this is going to affect our lives. And I was trying to explain that this primary sector will be affected at various levels. So we decided, through my pursuit and vision of daily life, to include and share part of knowledge to the audience in order to inspire and spread the knowledge. Now, to be more specific about the Chief Innovation Officer, it is true that in daily routine there's someone who should keep an eye on the future in order to ensure that the future will arrive in a form that will be easy to understand by the broader public, that will be able to address their resistance, and this needs to be easily comprehensible so that we can all move towards this direction in the easiest way possible. That's my personal interpretation. Let me get back now to the Metaverse. I can see that the timer is ruthless. In order to provide a simple definition, Metaverse is a digital layer. It's a layer that penetrates our daily life on a daily basis with a view to improving it. Today, I would like to share a story. I'm going to narrate a story I created so that we can understand what's the position of the Metaverse in the lives of producers and farmers. Let me start with Rakopoulos family. Okay, I have chosen the names by chance. This is a random choice. So the Rakopoulos family is a family that makes mainly living from the primary sector. Mr. Rakopoulos is a farmer. So let's now watch him on an average morning. He wakes up from a hologram of a rooster that reminds him of his childhood days. He goes to the kitchen to make some coffee and get ready. At the same time, his older daughter Irene is over there. She has some breakfast and she leaves. She goes to her room because she is a student. She's a third year student at the university, but she doesn't go physically to the University of Crete, where she studies to become a food technologist. She wears her mask, she activates her avatar, she enters the classroom. Mr. Alexandratos, her professor, welcomes her with his avatar because he's not on Crete Island either. He lives on another island, Naxos Island, and along with many more students, they enter the classroom, they sit around, and they all attend the class remotely through their masks. They use virtual reality to do that. And now Andonis steps in. Adonis rushes in the kitchen to have his breakfast because he's late for the tour he has to give to a group of Brazilian tourists who want to stroll around ancient Olympia. Adonis didn't want to study at the university, and this is why he attended a private school and he was trained to be a tour guide in order to provide virtual tour guides. So he presents the Greek history through this virtual tour. So he gets back to his room in order to enter this virtual metaverse and narrate all the things that he has been trained to share with the tourists. At the same time, we have Mr. Rakopoulos, who was there before everyone else because she had made breakfast for everyone, she had woken up early, and now she's in the living room. She has put her mask on, and she's also taking yoga classes given by the region. She is very happy because she has been taking this class for the past 2 months. She has lost 2 kilos, both in the physical and the digital world, her avatar. This is very good, it has boosted her psychology. Now, let me get back to Mr. Drakopoulos, who is the person of interest in this story. Mr. Drakopoulos is the only one who has to physically leave the house in order to go to his work. He's a farmer after all. So he drinks his coffee, so he gets in his new unmanned car, and he starts he's on his way to his farm. He puts his mask on, he logs in a meeting with his expert consultant. It's a multinational company in Italy. They collaborate with each other, and they need to be able to discuss the report, meaning the performance and the yield. This is measured on the basis of the sensors that are installed in the farm, and they try to measure the performance and the future of their experts. By the end of the call, he has got to the farm, he will get back, he will attend to all his daily chores, the things that he has to do in order to oversee his workers, and throughout the day he will also log in the Metaverse many more times. He will use his mask either to order his favorite dish for lunch from a wonderful restaurant in Pyrgos that he really enjoys because he didn't have a snack from his home, either to discuss with a company based in Switzerland that trades seeds so that he can select the right seeds among a very broad and vivid presentation, 3D presentation showing how the seed will respond to the weather conditions, his soil, etc. At the end of the day, he gets back in his unmanned vehicle, he returns home after an exhausting day, he wants to rest, so he puts his mask on and he chooses to visit a beach in order to see the ocean. Let's say he's in Gibraltar, so that he can relax by the Atlantic Ocean until he enters his home, so that he can physically interact with his family at dinner time. Okay? This story that you're currently narrating is something that we have seen in the movies. This is the future. I would like to tell you, on the basis of my experience, this is not in the future. This is already happening today. And why is this important? It is important because we, as people, want to socialize ourselves. So the Metaverse will be able to offer us this type of socialization beyond the typical traditional means that we have available today. I believe that many of you have already experienced that during the pandemic, because we had to liaise electronically and digitally. We abandoned all the traditional ways we had been familiar with up to that point, and we all realized what we're all capable of doing and how easy it is for us to adapt. I will go through the analysis of the basic technologies rather quickly. I just want to say that the main technologies that help us to achieve all that are augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality. Those things are used in different ways with different results and outcomes. For example, augmented reality can offer us sensor data that are being sent directly on our mobile phone. That's something we have already seen. And this brings us closer to the mixed reality, meaning that we wear a computer on our head, we can walk around, we don't have to hold anything, we can have access to all those things graphically, and so we train ourselves in the fastest and most effective way possible. It's something that immerses us in the environment where we want to draw results from, such as the examples from the living labs we heard before. And I would like to say something of the following. We need to be cautious as to the fact that many reliable big companies, Microsoft, tycoons of technology, already offer products that we can use to make our lives easier, to be able to move towards this metaverse in order to delimitate that and say what this will be all about and how this will be adopted in our daily life, in our families, in our fun, our entertainment. This will be an inextricable part of ourselves. And this comes in the form of applications that will further boost the remote co-working, how we can work together when we are not together, how we can lower our environmental footprint without having to have people to travel, but having them connected online with us, how we will be able to obtain data and give them to someone so that he or she can help us become more effective. This also has an impact on the way in which we train ourselves and educate ourselves so that we can know what happens in the case of crops, but also our soft skills that can help us socialize ourselves better, can help us overcome the way in which we used to think, broadening up our minds and meaning that we as a humanity will be able to progress and grow. In the past two slides, I have shown you the brands and companies that we represent, as well as the products that we have created in order to connect to bodies and to professionals so that we can show them the way. Then we, together, will be able to come up with a right way to show how all these things will be effective. Thank you so much.